Hi, guys. To my new subs, I just want to let you know I appreciate you being here. I'm glad you're here. To my old subs, I'm glad you're here too. But I wanted to tell my new subs I don't have any professional equipment, although I'm saving up for a light ring. All I have is my cell phone, and this will never be mistaken for a professional type video YouTube channel. It is just me talking to you like you were my sister or my best friend. And it is what it is. I ran out of memory, and so this video just cuts off at the end. I'm sorry, but that's all I can do for today. I will talk to you tomorrow. My daughter got her car. I'm going to stick in a picture. Hi guys, it's Carol, and this is Molly Poodle. I'm going to call tomorrow and get them a grooming appointment. Toby can't even see out of his eyes. And this is Molly Poodle. The groomer wasn't open today, but I'll call tomorrow. So we'll have before and after pictures. But anyway, Casey got her car. I'm going to stick a picture in. I haven't been downstairs to see it. We had a temperature change. We had several days in a row, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that were 98. And then what was it today, Casey, do you think?
66.
The high was 66. So when there's a weather change like that, Casey's fibro flares up and she hurts all over. And whatever's wrong with me, I hurt all over when the weather changes like that. And usually it's my left hip that gives me the most problems. But today it was my right hip, and by the time she got home, it was almost dark, and I just didn't think I could make it down the stairs to go look at the car, but I'll see it tomorrow. But anyway, she got her car. So, yay, we can go somewhere and not have to worry, I hope. Anyway, I want to talk about two things today. One is a present Casey made for me. She was 17 and I was about to turn 45. My birthday's at the very end of January, and I was about to be 45. And that year at Christmas, a friend gave me a recipe. She had made some cookies. I used to have a group of singles from church come to my home, and we would have like a Bible study type deal. And this lady brought soft molasses cookies. And I asked her if I could have the recipe. So I'm going to cover her name up here. She printed it off on a very pretty piece of Christmas paper. This was right before Christmas, when she had brought this to my house. And I just loved this woman to death, like a sister. And she said, because I think molasses cookies sounds awful, I'm going to rename them soft gingerbread cookies. Because I ran out of molasses, I used a half a cup of molasses and a half a cup honey. Because I ran out of time, I rolled the dough into walnut-sized balls and pressed with a cookie press. I had never heard of a cookie press, but she showed it to me. It's like a wooden thing. It looks sort of like a top, but it's got a design cut into the bottom, and you press it on the cookie, and it makes a design. I'd never heard of a cookie press. The bottom of a glass dipped in sugar would work just as well. Because I already had a design, I didn't frost the cookies. Because I think a little more spice would be nice, the next time I bake them, I'm going to add a half a teaspoon cinnamon or allspice. Anyway, I'll put this recipe for a soft gingerbread cookies in the description. But anyway, she gave that to me on this pretty piece of Christmas stationery. And I had, what this is, I had a sample book of wallpaper I had gotten somewhere. Somebody had given it to me. I've never wallpapered a house or anything. Somebody gave it to me. And Toby, not right now. Mommy's doing something. Don't bark. I had all these different samples of wallpaper, so I was going to make like a scrapbook with them. And then, because I wanted a gingerbread man on it, I traced our gingerbread cookie cutter and made a gingerbread man to put on the page. And I just loved that. I just loved it. So what I did was, Casey belonged to an organization sort of like, it was for girls, and sort of like Boy Scouts. They had a big project, like a Boy Scout would earn an Eagle Scout badge or something. Well, they had a thing for girls, and she needed a project, and so I told her, you know, I'm turning 45. For my birthday, I would like recipes from my friends of what people really eat. Because, you know, I used to work at the library. I'd bring home cookbooks all the time. I love to read cookbooks. But they all had, mostly they were recipes of stuff that we would never eat, or ingredients I couldn't afford, or way beyond my cooking ability. You know, they just didn't seem like things that we would eat. So I said, for my birthday, I want a cookbook of just things my friends eat, what normal people like us eat. And so for her project, she sent a letter. Well, I don't know where it is. She sent a letter. She took it to mostly it was people at church or co-workers, things like that. She took a note to all these people saying, my mom's birthday's coming up. She wants a cookbook of things people really eat. And so if you could give me a picture of you in your kitchen and a recipe that you really like to make, I'll put it into a cookbook for her for my project. So that's what she did. Casey and I love precious moments. So Casey colored this precious moment picture to put on the front. It's a little girl who's dumped a bag of sugar or flour or something. Sugar. It was much brighter back in the day because if this was for my 45th birthday, or was it my 40th, Casey? Anyway, I'm going to be 67 my next birthday, so it's been a while. But anyway, it was real pretty at the time when she colored it. It's kind of faded now. And we had this big spiral notebook that was brand new at the time, but you can see it's fallen apart now. It says Carol and Friends Cookbook. And, oh, she made it in 1999. Toby. Anyway, so it's pretty thick. I've got lots and lots of recipes from friends. And it was all inspired by this one because my friend gave me this recipe on this pretty piece of paper, and then I put it on a piece of wallpaper acting as scrapbook paper, and I put it in a page protector because I didn't want it to get dirty. So that's how this idea came up. And Casey, bless her heart, she worked so hard on it. Let me take this picture out. Oh, I've got 3 dogs. I'm at Casey's home at her apartment. And all 3 dogs are underneath me playing, messing with the tripod. This was Casey when she was 17. I don't know if you can see it. That was our house. I had a house with a dining room that had windows on 2 sides. And I had red geraniums in pots lining those windows. And it says, what did I get myself into? And down here she's working on it. And she says, But bless her heart, it was a lot of work, but she got it done and made me this cookbook. On this page, there's a Garfield cartoon that says, I've wanted to lose weight since the day I got married. When I was 18, I weighed 110 pounds. I know that. And I stayed small until I got pregnant 7 years later, and from that time on, I started eating when I was pregnant, and I haven't stopped eating, and I've always been big. But I've wanted to lose weight. This says, I ate so much I can't move, which is the only reason I stopped eating. And this one says 0, still 0. I don't remember the guy's name in Garfield, but he says, how are the sit-ups going? Darn, you made me lose count. 0. Anyway, I just treasure this, and as you can tell, It's been well used. About that time is when color copies became available in our town. This is a long time ago. And they were pretty expensive for us at the time, but my two daughters took the pages that Casey made and made them each a cookbook like mine. Here's Casey cooking in our kitchen, and this is the note that she sent to people telling them what she wanted to do. That's her. That was when she was 17. And yeah, happy birthday, 45th, Mom. Anyway, this has just been a treasure and a work of love because it took her a long time to do this. I'm not going to show you most of the pictures. Toby, no. Mama's doing something. Because it's of my friends and I don't want to call everybody and ask them. But at this time we had our first schnauzer was a silver male. His name was Fred, after Fred Rogers. And Becky had adopted a little girl schnauzer, and her name was Maggie. So this is a page of doggy treat recipes. I don't know if you can see there. This is Fred, and this is Maggie, and this is my son reading he was reading a book, and the dog's always sat in his lap while he read. There's all four of my kids at Christmas with the dogs. And that's me with both dogs. I will show you my family pictures. This is my favorite picture of my mom. My mom's deceased. But this is my all-time favorite because it's got my two baby girls in it, my mom, and lilacs. I love lilacs. I don't know if you can see that very good. But that was my two girls sitting with my mother with a jar of lilacs we picked out of our yard. And this was Grandma Campbell's pineapple upside down cake recipe. And then on the back I've got Grandma Campbell's homemade cream style corn, which I just discovered this summer that most people call that fried corn. And cinnamon rolls and basic roll dough. She made the best homemade cinnamon rolls. This is just a napkin I got and this is just a plain piece of paper. That's me. We had gone to a bed and breakfast. When my kids were teenagers, I think my youngest was like 11 this year, but I used to save up money, and we went on like 3 trips. We went to St. Louis, sorry, that I've already told you about, and I don't think I've told you the funniest stories from then, but I will sometime. And we went to, where did we go, Casey? Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. And then we went up in Colorado because I'd always wanted to go to Durango and ride the train. And this was from that trip. And anyway, it's my recipe for sugar cookies. This is the recipe that I gave her. And this is my son. He is, oh my gosh, how old will Trey be this year? He'll be 35. This was him when he was a little boy. And this is him down here. As a kid, he loved to wear white shirts and ties. He still wears white shirts and ties all the time. Even on his day off, he tells me. He's the one that lives in Seattle now. When he was in 2nd grade, now we live in Texas. This is a little boy in Texas, which is, males here are pretty rough and tumble, cowboy type. And then Trey, for 2nd grade, almost every single day, wore a white short sleeve Oxford cloth shirt like this one. Here, he's not in 2nd grade. He was like 12 or 11. And a bow tie. At that time, all he owned was a bow tie, a clip-on bow tie. 2nd grade, every day. That's what he wore, just 2nd grade. Everybody else is in their cowboy boots and their plaid cowboy shirts. And Trey has always been an individual. But this recipe is for bran muffins. It's not the 6-week bran muffin recipe that I've already done a video about. This is another recipe because we stayed at this bed and breakfast. And the lady, the hostess, had made bran muffins. We had never had bran muffins. Oh my gosh, Trey loved those. She brought a basket with probably like 4 because there were 4 of us. No, 5. I've got 4 kids and I was there. She must have brought a basket with 5 to the table, and he ate one, and he asked if he could have another. She brought a basket 3 times. So we told him, Trey, you better stop. You're not used to bran muffins. Oh, this is my favorite picture of me and Casey. I also had red geraniums in my kitchen window. That's me. That's Casey when we were much, much younger. And that is my favorite picture of her. Her and me. That was probably right at the time she made this, so I was either 44 or 45, and she would have been 17. Let's see. Oh, if Trey wasn't wearing a white shirt and a tie, he wore these hats. I think they're called newsboy hats. People in Texas don't wear those either. Trey was born in New Mexico, but lived all most of his life in Texas, but he was never a Texan. There's just Texans, and then there's other people. I don't know if you can see that newsboy hat there. This is our recipe for my mother's Thanksgiving dressing, chicken and dumplings, and a chicken noodle casserole.
It's ready.
Huh?
It's ready.
Okay. Let's see what else. Casey just telling me supper's ready. This is chocolate snow-cap cookies. Those are my youngest son's favorite. We homeschooled for quite a few years, and that was our backyard, and he was homeschooling. Let's see what else. This is a picture of my oldest daughter when she was a little girl. This is Becky. Oh, and she's got a recipe of her Aunt Linda's breakfast pizza, and I had wrote a little thing here that says, once when Brent was 3, we had moved to Rio Rancho in New Mexico, and when we arrived that night, we were exhausted. We had moved from El Paso. We had been at Fort Bliss, Texas, and we had moved up to Rio Rancho, which is like a, I don't know, 6 or 7 hour drive. I ordered pizza and set the kids up at their little table and chairs and started unpacking. Brent was so tired he fell asleep and fell face first right down into his pizza and kept on sleeping. Becky ran screaming through the house that Brent was dead. If he was 3, she would have been 8 or 9. He wasn't dead. Let's see. All the pictures of Brent are